After a lovely Christmas in Mount Field, we made our way to Hobart for a couple of days before heading to our next campsite where we would spend New Year's. We did have some maintenance to do on our bikes during this time, like clean out our air filters. And when you live on the road, what better place is there than a servo parking lot? We arrived at our campsite and learnt that there was an archery range where we were just in time to do a come and try session. So we both got to have a go at archery for the first time. We didn't film much from our time here, but we had a lovely time making new friends and celebrating the new year with pizzas, s'mores, and lighting more fires with our flint and steel. Then it was time to go and explore Port Arthur. The first campsite we checked was Fortescue Bay, which was beautiful but fully booked out. So we made our way over to Lime Bay, which had heaps of free spots and was also a lovely site right on the beach. We felt like we should have a fancy meal for the first night of the year, so we pulled out our freeze-dried meals. I spent most of the next day exploring Port Arthur's historical site. Port Arthur was established in 1830 using convict labour to produce materials for government projects. It quickly became one of Australia's largest convict sites and went from a punishment station for repeat offenders to a rehabilitation centre and major industrial settlement. The convicts produced many goods through their work, including furniture, clothing, and even boats. By 1840, it was home to more than 2,000 people consisting of convicts, staff, soldiers, and their families. The settlement closed in 1877 and became known as a historic site in 1916. Currently trying to plan the next couple days. We are probably going to go back to the bush camp that we were staying at a couple days ago, so our last campsite, because it's going to rain tomorrow and there's a shelter. It's just nice to not sit in the tent all day, and we don't want to stray too far from Hobart because I have a part coming, the Jerry mount that I snapped off the other week, is due to come in soon, and we also don't want to go on our next lot of plans down to Cockle and on the Byroads because the extra fuel is probably going to be handy, so we don't want to go before that. So we're staying close to Hobart. We'll probably do some exploring there the next couple of days while we wait for the part and for the rain to clear up. After a couple of days in Hobart, it was time to head to Bruny Island. It was still school holidays, so it was a long wait to get on the ferry, but we were told that it is worth the wait. Once we finally made it onto the ferry, it was only a 20-minute trip before we were getting off at the other end. Straight away, we went to our campsite and set up before grabbing our swimmers and heading to the beach. We started the next day off at the Neck Lookout. The next stop on our list was Cloudy Bay. We decided to take the scenic route and cut up the middle on a track that was a bit more exciting than the main dirt road. Once we got to Cloudy Bay, it was time to practice some sand riding. After another swim at the beach, we spent the rest of the afternoon relaxing and reading in our hammocks. The next morning, it was time to get back on the ferry and make our way to a campsite where we were meeting our friends Ellen and Andy. In between hiding from the rain, we were testing out that new drone before getting ready to go and start the Byroads.